I have to I have to give credit where it's due. Didn't expect Canada to step up how they do. I'm not gonna pretend that I know exactly what's going on, how tariffs are gonna affect us. I'm actually gonna make another video about that. I actually thought Trudeau stepped down. I thought he said he was stepping down. I think I didn't pay too much attention to that. If I could take a guess, I'll just take a guess, guys. I'm sure you probably know. Those who are tuning in, you probably know. You probably just want to see what I'm going to say. I'm sure you're like, this guy doesn't know what he's saying, but I'm going off body language. I'm going off what I felt when I hear these three different characters, you know. Okay, let me take a guess at what Trudeau. I assumed he was gone already. I thought he left. I think when he did that little press meeting to his Canadians, to his country, I think he was saying he wasn't going to run anymore. I think. Anyway, I was surprised. He said he's going to counter tariff the United States. Interesting. He called for a sense of nationalism. That caught my attention. He asked the Canadians to do their part. Maybe he specifically said when you're at the market, maybe you don't buy American goods anymore. You don't drink Florida orange juice. You don't buy some of our products. He's asking the Canadians. He's sort of calling for their allegiance, for their loyalty as Canadians. That stood out to me. It was very interesting. And so I respect game, you know, I respect that. And then you go to, I think his name's Bolivar, can't remember his name. He's been on Jordan Peterson's podcast recently. I want to say about a month, maybe no more than 2 months ago. It was within 2 months to a couple weeks ago. I can't remember. I try to watch a little bit of it, didn't watch all of it. He's the runner-up to Justin Trudeau, or he's his competitor. He's probably the only man that will probably take the job. He's probably one of the second most, when it comes to that position of Prime Minister of Canada, or whatever they consider themselves to be, whatever the equivalency of an American president is in Canada. So both of them were similar. Bolivar said that he called Trump's decision to tariff Canada as if we were betraying our friendship with Canada. He also called for Canada to be strong as well. One thing that stood out to me, and I really respect with Bolivar, I'm probably butchering his name. You guys know what I'm talking about. He mentioned how Canada is top 10 in natural gas, oil, landmass, farmland. He said we should also be one of the most wealthiest countries in the world. And if you're a Canadian, you should probably feel proud, like, you finally. But you got to think Trump's motivating these guys. I mean, you got a socialist, communist, nepotist, you know, someone who was placed there because his father was famous in Canada. His father was a prime minister, and you got his son there, you know. So you got even that guy calling for a sense of national pride. And it's very interesting. I couldn't help but my mind kept thinking about, look at the effect Trump is having. And so both of them were calling Canadians to step up. The two differences between both of the guys, one's a capitalist, one's a free market capitalist, and the other is a socialist. Definitely a socialist. He's a clown. I don't like the guy. He just irks me. His personality is just so phony. It's so unauthentic. But the thing is, that's who he really is, and he's not conscious of it. He's definitely not conscious of it, and it's just so cringy. And the two cringy people he has behind him, one older man, older than him, he's just like all red in the face. It just seems like like doesn't really even like Trudeau. Just thinks this guy's probably an idiot. And then the lady in the back, like probably Trudeau's like right hand woman, like yeah. I don't know. I respect the fact that like counter tariffing America and they're not like bowing down. It just, now I'm talking about something different. Just kind of the person Trudeau is, his nature, his essence, his energy, just so lame. It's just so cringy. Like you don't think people don't like you. People hate you. You're just so cringy. It's like, admit people don't like you. Like I'll be like, yeah, nobody likes me. I know people don't. But it's just like, this is what somebody who's like been famous his whole life, in the political world, you know, his father was a prime minister. His mother was extremely famous in the 60s and 70s even for their relationship being over, being that woman who, like, she was like at the head of the feminist movement and the activist movement in the 60s and 70s. She was very popular, beautiful woman, Margaret Trudeau, beautiful. In her prime, she was like kind of sexy. She was being a rebel. She was a symbol for women in the feminist movement. You know, she was married to a prime minister. She left him. I think he might have cheated on her. I think she cheated on him. It was like a jacked up relationship both of them had. You know, of course, a man in power like that, you know he's gonna be cheating. But the fact that she like cheated back, I think, and then she was unapologetic, and she was out there living her life. The media loved her. You got this probably kid raised in this world where everything's given to him. He's not even in the same world as everybody else, you know. And you could just tell, it's like, dude, what the fuck? People that like you are just probably weird as fuck too. It's like, I was thinking about it today. We literally got saved from a socialist ass, a woman, Kamala Harris, who didn't even win a primary, who just replaced by this power at large. It's like, you guys couldn't pick somebody else? Like, how stupid did you think we were? It's like, I feel bad for Americans that they don't see it, you know? A lot of them are just blind, or like a lot of them are women who like, oh, poor immigrants, or poor this or poor that. Like, they have a good heart, but it's like, this is not really the way it is. It's like we need someone who knows. It's not about women, man. It's like someone who knows. You could see Biden didn't know what the fuck he was doing. One, because he's just losing his mind. Second, because he was being corrupt his whole fucking career and like utilize, like a bureaucrat, a lifetime bureaucrat. You could tell who he pardoned. Anyway, that's a different story. So let's jump back on it. And then Bolivar, you could tell he was more real. You could tell he was just more real, like more real. You know, just he was like, no. You know, we need a free market. You know, if we're not going to trade with America, we have to find other trade partners. With this socialist Trudeau, his was more like Trump's my enemy sort of thing, like pretending that he's not, like a snake in sheep's clothing, you know. And the other Bolivar guy, I don't know, just two different individuals. Came from two different places, you could tell, and it was very interesting, that dynamic. I don't know how it's going to affect us, but I'll make another video about what I think America is becoming again. Self-sufficient, not taken advantage of. Anyway, I'll make another video about this. And then Trump was getting off a plane. I don't know where he was going, and he just, instead of going straight, he gets off Air Force One, and then he's at the airport, and he takes this presidential fucking sick ass helicopter. It's as big as a private jet. Sick ass American helicopter for the president. And so, but instead of going straight to the helicopter, he talks to the press for like 10 minutes and walks away. He says he's going to put tariffs on the European Union. He said Canada's been taking advantage of us. He said we give them over hundreds of billions of dollars a year, subsidizing them, and for what? They don't let us sell our products over there, but we let them sell whatever they want over here. And yeah, Trump, man, he's hey, I think it might hurt Canada. Canada only has 40 million people, man, and so much land. They only have 40 million people. It almost makes me. I think it's our relationship with the French why we never took over Canada. I really think so, because Canada was a French nation before. And I think that's why it's almost like, why didn't we take over Canada? Why don't we take over Mexico, you know? Do we feel bad? I mean, do we not think we can? Or why didn't we before, right? Why do we annex these places? And that's kind of credit to Trump as well. It's like, we could, right? We could like just go and like, they don't have 40 million people. They probably don't have that strong of an army. Trump already mentioned about their army. It's like, our army is their army. There's something there. There's probably there's something going on. There's some fabric there that's holding that place. But yes, it was. Trump spoke very briefly. The other guys only spoke like 20 minutes each as well. Trudeau just, he's a cringy guy. I like talking about it. I'm just fascinated how people could be like that. Like, you don't think, like, what? Like, it was like Biden, you know? These, just like, what, you think we're that fucking stupid? Trudeau is just a cringy guy. He's just so fake. He's a weird guy. He's kind of psychopathic. Jordan Peterson says he's like 40 years old, but mentally, like in his brain, he's like a 13-year-old boy. Literally. And he just looks devious. He's like nefarious, and seems kind of evil, right? I don't know. He's just kind of weird. Anyway, y'all, peace.